Okay, on this video, I'll show you how to configure network settings on Kali Linux using both the graphical environment and command line. So let's go. When using a standard Kali Linux installation, network management will be already installed through the GNOME control center. To get there, you just need to access this top right menu here, this little icon here, and you just click here and you see the network settings here, and this is a wired connected, and if you click on the gear here, you see all the information that you need here: the IP addresses, the IPv4, IPv6, the hardware MAC address, the default role, DNS, and etc. The default is to use DHCP to get an IP address. DNS server and gateway is automatically assigned to you. But if you click here on IPv4, for example, you can change what you want. You can change from automatically to manual, for example, and you then switch to static IP address. We can also disable IPv6 if you want, right? This is enabled right now. For wireless settings, they are automatically set by the SSID. You can also use this network manager to set PPPoE for WAN networks like DSLs, cable modems, and etc., and also to configure VPN. Okay, those are, I'll cancel here, but those are the settings like here. VPN settings, it's not set up. I can add one here and set up, and proxy, for example, if you want to configure a proxy. Okay, that's cool, but you know what is even more cool than that? It's doing this on the command line. One of the greatest advantages of using command line is that you can create scripts and automate tasks. And sometimes also you just don't have access to a graphical interface. So let me close this out here, and I'll open the terminal. I'll make it a little bigger for us, and let's play a little bit now here on the command line. All right, so the first command I want to show you is the famous, ifconfig. Okay, it's a very famous command. It's very, very useful. It's very similar to the ifconfig on Windows. You can check all of your network interfaces configuration. On this case, you can see my Ethernet interface and my loopback interface here. Now remember, a lot of things on Linux happens on files, right? So I want to show you a file now that is used to configure network settings, and this is called this file is located under the ITSI. So let's go there. See the ITSI. Okay. All right. So give an eye. So I have a bunch of stuff here on ITSI, but the file that I want to show you is the resolve.com. I have no DNS settings here, as you can see. All right, I have the name server and the IP address, and the IPv6 address, IPv4 and IPv6 address. This is very, very simple. Okay, this file here, because I don't have a complex configuration. It's just a standalone box, etc. Another interesting file is the hosts. So let's do a cat hosts. Okay. So when you look at this here, so you can see that I have like 127.0.0.1, that is the loopback interface, and I have the localhost, and also the 127.0.1.1, which is the host that is named Kali here. Okay. So this means that so this file is used to configure host settings. So just as an example right now, so if I do like a ping localhost, right, is the same as pinging 127.0.0.1. So it just helps you with this naming conventions and translations from IP address to host name, right? So I don't have to ping 127.0.0.1. So it points me to localhost, so it's easier to me. The same with Kali. So if I do ping Kali, by also it's pointed to the 127.0.1.1. Just as an example, so if I use Nano, which is a simple editor, text editor here, and hosts. I want to show you, for example, what happens if I change this Kali to Lovesac, for example, right? And save it. Control Z, and then save yes. If I do cat right now, hosts, it shows me that 127.0.1.1 now is Lovesac. So if I ping Kali, it's not listed there. It doesn't understand, so I get nothing here. But if I do ping Lovesac now I got it. Okay, it's responding. So this is the host command. Okay, so I'll get back to the original and then hosts, and I'll get it back to Kali. I don't want to make any changes here. Control X. Yes. Okay, that's good. The next file I want to show you is actually the nsswitch.conf. So this is the name server's switch configuration file. It's used to determine the sources from which to obtain name service information in a range of categories and in what order it's going to happen. So each category is identified by a database name. The other one is the ITSI network interfaces. So let me show you cat. I am already at ITSI, so I just need to put network interfaces. Sorry, not this one here. Interfaces. I did something wrong. Cat interfaces. Oops, me wrong again. Okay, so this shows me my interfaces. So right here you can see that it's pointing out to my loopback interface here information, and it is set to auto, okay, to automatically to use DHCP, for example. Now let's move to some commands. Let's clear this a little bit, and let's move to some commands. So the host name will show you the host name of the machine that you're using right now. So if you do host name, you can see it's running under cat. So if I do now host name -t, it will show me my domain. Because I'm not running on that domain, because I'm running this on a standalone box, I don't have any information. But if you were, you would find also the domain information. The same would be if you're using the .f, but that will be showing you the fully qualified domain, right? On my case, it's just simple as Kali. And the host name -l, -i will show you what's my loopback interface, as you see here. Well, it's good that I did the command wrong, because if you do the command wrong, you'll also be able to see all of the different sorts of options here. And that's pretty good as well for you to see what are other options available. Let's go back to ifconfig. So I can create an interface, or I can take an interface down, for example, and that's really cool. The way we do it, we just do like ifconfig, and then the interface. So we're going to make it like Ethernet 0, ETH0 up, so it will put my interface up. If I do the same but put down here, to put my interface down. So if I do now show like ifconfig, I only see my loopback interface. My Ethernet was down. So to get it back, you do ifconfig ETH0 up. Oops. ifconfig ETH0 up, and then you get it back up. So to confirm, I do ifconfig again. Oops, ifconfig, and you see my internet E0 is up and running again. So you can put an interface up and down. That's really cool. You can disconnect it. You can also configure the interface. If you do like which ifconfig, you can see that the ifconfig is set to be on this USR SBIN if config It's a file. It's under the usr bin directory. So sometimes some of the commands you must be going to that directory, but if it's on the path, so you may not need to do that. So we should be able to do this without having to go there. So for example, if you do like a ifconfig, so let's see, let's put a different number. So I have the history, so I can put it back. But if I do ifconfig, look at the setting that I have here for the Ethernet 0. We have 172.20.10.8, right? The net mask and the broadcast address. So I can change that to a different settings. For example, I can put it for to be ETH0, that's the interface, and I put the IP address 192.168.0.10, net mask 255.255.0, and the broadcast of 192.168.0.255. Okay, so let's see what happened when I do this. And then I do ifconfig. So my Ethernet now is with the setting I just put in the right? So let's get back to the original now. So I will do the same, but I use the original configurations now, which is 172.20.10.8. So let's go 172.20.10.8, and the network mask is 240 on the end, and the broadcast is actually 20.10.15. Okay, so now if I do ifconfig, so I see that I got back to my original interface, and that's fine. Excellent, that's very good. The other command that I want to show you is the netstat. Netstat is a pretty unique command. So if you do netstat, it's very nice. You can see all the network connections, what is listening to what, which one are connected, who are connected to these IP addresses, and what are the systems, the PIDs and everything like that. And that's a really cool command. But to be more specific, you have to use it with a certain parameters, right? So for example, if you want to see more about interfaces, you just do netstat -i, for example, and then you can see all of my interface that I have Ethernet 0, and I have the loopback, and I can see what's the MTU settings. I can see the errors, traffic information, transmission, how much I receive it, how many packets receive it, and stuff like that. Now, if you want to know more about the routes, for example, you just do netstat -r, and then I don't have any route here, but that's because, again, this is a standalone machine, but I could set up some, I should be able to configure routing parameters here, and then I'll be able to see them here. And the last one I'd like to show is the netstat for statistics. And you just do netstat -s, and you see lots of statistics about your connections. Very cool things like UDP, TCP, ICMP messages, ICMP, things related to the IP protocol, and things like that. So that's it for today. Here ends our very basic Kali Linux network configuration session. I hope you had enjoyed this, and see you next time.